King of Highways for Freddie and Chris Gordon in the colours of Anthony Ward Thomas. White jacket with the red sleeves, the red and white checked cap for number 2, King of Highways. Number 3 is Birdman Bob in the dark cheek pieces. Freddie Mitchell for Andy Irvine in the colours of Shorefly Racing and Secret Circle Racing Club, blue with the yellow star, red and yellow chevrons on the sleeves. And then number 5, Hilltown for Seamus Mullins' Racing Club. Seamus doing the training. Daniel Sansom in the saddle in the yellow colours with the green stripes on the sleeves for number 5, the nose-banded Hilltown. So 5 runners making their way towards the 2.5 mile start. Birdman Bob, 15-8, just preferred in the market to King of Highways at 2-1. 9-2 for Atreides, 11-2 for Crack de Megode, and 12-1 for Hilltown. That's been a bit of money for Crack de Megode. He was 9-1 yesterday evening and did land market support when scoring at Fakenham on New Year's Day. So maybe that market move of a little bit of extra significance. 15-8 market leader is Birdman Bob. The off time for our first race, 12:35. The Extech Cloud Conditional Jockeys Handicap Chase, first to 7. Have a very enjoyable afternoon with us here at Plumpton. So runners are down at the start here. Quickly run through them. Atreides still a maiden after 21 starts, 5 seconds, 6 thirds. So that's the slightly concern, I think, if you're going to back him to win. King of Highways, by contrast, has only had 6 racecourse starts, and he could well be capable of some improvement. So I do fancy him over fences. He moved into handicaps and immediately showed some form. So I think that first up run is probably okay. Birdman Bob, 3 from 10 Andy Irvine was during November. Birdman Bob was one of those. And a complete change of tactics. They made the running with him, and he responded well to it, winning for Freddie Mitchell and Andy Irvine last time out. And I don't know, I wasn't convinced by him over hurdles. Sometimes I thought he spat the dummy and wasn't always easy. So can he do the same thing again? Crack de Megade I had marked down for a race at New Year's Day at Fontwell, at Fakenham, where they landed a gamble 12 months ago. But he has been supported here. Tom Hutsby, you see, he's naught from something like 15 or 16 under rules, but he has had plenty of winners pointing, and so don't discount him as being value for his £7. And Hilltown only got very short in that race. There was a full start and they only went a few yards. I thought he was clearly carrying condition in the paddock. Effectively, it is his first run for a considerable period of time. There he is. And gradually being called forward. And they're off. So away they blue and yellow rises alongside both the grey King of Highways, and completing just about a line of 3 is Crack de Megade up on the outside. So only a length or so between this trio as they ascend the hill for the first time into the teeth of what is a very gusty wind. Atreides races in 4th place, and early on Hilltown is last of the 5 as they climb the hill and make their way towards the fence before the turn. Taken on the rise, Birdman Bob from King of Highways, and on the outside Crack de Megade. They're over from Atreides and Hilltown, and Birdman Bob carried the most momentum out of that. And in 2nd place, King of Highways just been a bit lethargic, and his rider's already just having to push and shove along Freddie Gordon. It could be a long couple of miles for him if he doesn't pick the bridle up to a little bit more effect. Cracked Omega Day races in third, Atreides, and also at the back is Hilltown pushed along as well. So they now make their way out of the breeze and into the turn into the back straight. Birdman Bob leads Cracked Omega Day and King of Highways as we reach the next fence. Atreides is over in fourth place, and at the back is Hilltown as they run downhill. So Birdman Bob, looking to repeat the tactics of his victory a month ago, leads by a length from Cracked Omega Day. King of Highways was alongside that pair as they went past us, but is now 2 lengths further back with Atreides and Hilltown as they run downhill towards the next of the fences. 2 more to take in the back straight, the last of which is the first ditch. Birdman Bob over from Cracked Omega Day. Third place for King of Highways, continually just being nudged along. And then behind these is Atreides as we reach the open ditch. And Birdman Bob out in the lead with Cracked Omega Day. Back in third, King of Highways is 4 lengths down. Fourth place belongs to Atreides, and right at the back is Hilltown as they now make their way round past the station. And out in the lead, it is Birdman Bob who has the advantage. Birdman Bob with the lead, and that lead has been relatively smoothly established over Cracked Omega Day in second. Still, both King of Highways and Hilltown throughout this first circuit have been pushed along from quite an early stage. Atreides still travels okay as they reach the next. Birdman Bob over from Cracked Omega Day, King of Highways, Atreides and Hilltown. So Birdman Bob up the home straight for the second time. Reaching the halfway stage, has the advantage. And Birdman Bob jumping soundly, 5 lengths clear from Cracked Omega Day. Third place for King of Highways. Fourth for Atreides, and Hilltown continuing to be ridden at the back of the pack. So up their way past as they head, Freddie Mitchell got into a nice rhythm on Andy Irvine's Birdman Bob, extended the lead to 5 lengths. In second place, races Cracked Omega Day. Atreides now improves into third, and both King of Highways and Hilltown have been struggling from an early stage, and they are now the back two as Birdman Bob takes the first out on the final circuit. Birdman Bob continuing to control the race from Cracked Omega Day in second. Atreides half a length away. Still pushed along King of Highways under Freddie Gordon. And then back in fifth place is Hilltown. So at this stage, Birdman Bob climbs the hill for the final time. Has the lead by 4 lengths. Cracked Omega Day with on the outside Atreides, and still King of Highways has been very hard work, is still in touch as they race down towards the fence. First of the 3 in the back straight, Birdman Bob over it swiftly from Cracked Omega Day, Atreides and King of Highways, and the leader is getting away. Into second place, King of Highways has now picked up the bridle on the descent, moved back past Cracked Omega Day and Atreides, and they're closing on the run downhill on the leader, who may have just been given a breather. Either way, Hilltown has lost touch as they race now towards the next fence in the back straight. Birdman Bob will take it in the lead by about 2 to 3 lengths from Atreides. Third place for King of Highways. Cracked Omega Day is now being ridden, and Hilltown as they reach the last ditch, and Birdman Bob continuing to jump soundly has the lead. A look over the shoulder from Freddie Mitchell. He'll be pretty pleased because with the exception of Atreides, the rest of them are disappearing into the distance. Atreides is 6 lengths back in second place. They've now completely dropped King of Highways, then Cracked Omega Day as Birdman Bob turns towards the second last. Atreides has closed to within 3 lengths or so as they make the turn. They're now miles clear of King of Highways. So racing towards the second last, Birdman Bob out in the lead. Atreides has got to a length and a half as they run down towards the final fence. Birdman Bob, Atreides, a 21 race maiden. Could this be the day? Switch towards the inside, delivers the challenge. They'll be together over the last. Birdman Bob and Atreides. Atreides has hit the front. He may not get stage fright this time. He's a length clear. Birdman Bob in second place. Atreides all out to prevail. 22nd time lucky. Atreides, the Chancellor's partnership. Bradley Harrison, Neil Mulholland beats Birdman Bob. Back in third place, Cracked Omega Day and Hilltown, I think pulled up was King of Highways before the last.